Okay, so some more problems we will do today. Okay, so based on the convolution sum. Okay, so now take this problem, so which is given by x1 of n, which is equal to half into, that is half power n into u of n minus 2 and x2 of n, it is given by u of n. Okay, so these are the two signals which they have given. So they need to, so they ask for the convolution of these two signals, that is x1 of n convolution x2 of n. Okay, so we need to compute this one, x1 of n and x1 of n and x2 of n. Now draw the x1 and x2 in terms of k, the index k. Okay, so now if I take x1 of k, so now where it is starting from? So it is starting from where n is equal to 2. That means the index from, if you take 0, 1, it will be having 0 values. Okay, and it is starting from when n equal to 2. That is, so this is the amplitude level. So if you put n equal to 0, it will become 1, but the unit step sample, it is here 0, and at 1 also it is 0, and when n equal to 2, it will become 1. So this will be 1 into multiplied by this one. So half power 2. So half power 2 means 1 over 2 power 2, which is nothing but 1 by 4. So your amplitude value at 2 equal to 1 by 4. Okay, and similarly it will go on. So at 3, 4, and it will go on like this. So at 3, what will happen? It will be, so 1 over 2 power 3, that is 1 by 8. Okay, and similarly at n equal to 4, it is 1 by 16. So similarly it will go on. So this is your x1 of k. Okay, so now this is the k index. Now x2 of k you write. So x2 of k, which is in the positive direction, it is u of n. It is starting from 0. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So it will go up to infinite value. Okay, so now I will take x2 of that is k plus n. Okay, I will shift the x2 of k by the value n in the backward direction, that is in the negative side. So if I shift that one, you will get up to some n value. I don't know what is that n value which is in the negative side. So beyond that n value, there will be a 0 samples. The amplitude values are 0 beyond this, and it will go on like this. So this is sample, and this is sample, and this is also sample. Say for example, this is at k equal to 0. So this is the index k. Okay, and it will go on up to infinite value. So this is shifted by n value. So now if you reflect this one, what will happen? So this is a, say for example, origin. You reflect this, what will happen? So this n will come this side, and infinite position, it will go in the backward direction. So what will be your x of n minus k? Okay, so your x of, that is x2 of n minus k. That means, so this is nothing but x2 of minus k plus n. So this whatever I am going to write, it is reflected version. So if I reflect this one, it will be in the negative side, it will go into infinity, and positive side up to the value of n, it will be reflected. Okay, so till the value of n, it will be there. Okay, so now if you compare this one and this reflected signal, so now beyond whatever k value, so that is k less than or equal to 2. So since the x1 of k is having no sample values, amplitude values, then your output y of n will be equal to 0. Okay. Now from 2 to where is the last value of x2 of k? So this is infinite values having. So only x2 of n minus k which is having the value till the value of n. So that's why, so the convolution exists from 2 to n. Okay. So now you write the value of k. So that is index which is exact from 2 to n. Okay. So your y of n which is equal to k equal to 2 to n. So now what is x1 of n? It is half power k. So into 1. So this is x2 of n which is u of n amplitude will be 1. So now evaluate this expression. So what you will get? Y of n. So now I will change the value of k. That is, I will take L equal to k minus 2. Now when k become equal to 2, your L equal to 0 for k value 2. And similarly when L equal to become n minus 2. So when k equal to n. Okay. So now the new limits it is exists from 0 to n minus 2. That is L equal to 0 to n minus 2. So half power. So you will be having the value of k which is L plus 2. Okay. So now you evaluate this expression. So what you will get? So your y of n which is equal to summation L equal to 0 to n minus 2 half power that is L plus 2. Now that is which is equal to half power. So you take out these two values. So this you can write it as half power L into half power 2. Okay. So the take out this one. So you will get the value L equal to 0 to n minus 2 half power L. So now this is in the form which we have already known, that is n equal to 0 to n minus 1 alpha power n which is equal to 1 over that is 1 minus alpha power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus sorry this is n 1 minus alpha power n. So now evaluate this expression. So which is equal to 1 by 4 into. So what we can write? So since it is n minus 2, so you can write it as 1 minus half power. So advanced version of this one 2. So that is n minus 1. Yeah.
Sir, we are getting
Sir, you are dumping double volume.
Hello, what happened?
we are getting echo, sir.
Oh, just a minute. Hello.
Even now, sir.
Okay, just a minute.
ಎಕೋ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
Hello, now is it fine, right?
Hello, now is it fine, right?
Hello.
Hello.
No, sir, still getting.
No, sir, still we are getting
We
also.
are getting also.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
Sir,
I'll
there
end.
is someone unknown person in the system.
Okay, I'll end that.
Okay, I'll end that.
Hello, now is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so actually that
Yes, sir.
in the system it is logged in, that's why it is coming like this. Okay. So now what is the value? So we need to, so you can see here 0 to n minus 2 and here 0 to n minus 1 is there. So 1 you can, if you add here 1 you will get 0 to n minus 1, that is, so it will become 0 to n minus 1 divided by, so 1 minus half. So now what you will get? So here 1 minus half, it will give half and you cancel each other. So this value, so that will be equal to 1 by 4 divided by 1 by 2 into 1 minus half power n minus 1. Okay. So now what you will get? So you will get half here. So that is half into 1 minus half power n minus 1. Now if you multiply this half into the bracket, you will get half minus half power n. So now this is the answer where the n exists between, that is 2 to, the k exists between 2 to n. Okay. So now this is the answer and otherwise it is 0. Okay. So the y of n which exists only between 2 to n. So is it understood this one? Okay. Any doubt in this?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Can you just recap everything from starting once?
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So here you can see we have two sequences. Okay. x1 of n equal to half power n into
Sir, not this problem.
Okay.
Like from first lesson,
First lesson.
from the beginning.
Why you needed that one now?
So like everyone were asking.
Okay. So since because the quiz.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even because of the quiz and for internals.
Okay. So I will try to do that.
Okay, sir.
So now this problem you have understood, right? So any doubt in this? Okay. So now if you recap the first unit, so first we have done the classification of signals, right? So in the classification we have many classification, that is, one is continuous time, discrete time signals, and as well as you will be having periodic, non-periodic signals, even and odd component, and as well as deterministic and random signals, and energy and power signals, right? Is it not? So now, so you know already, so there is no difficulty in continuous and discrete time signals and plotting also. So, and even and odd component. So, now if you take even and odd component, if x of, if you take the continuous case, if you take x of t, okay, and if you replace t by minus t, okay. So, now if you replace t by minus t, and if the signal it exists the same signal which is the original signal, so then your x of t can be call it as even component, okay. And your x of minus t, if it is equal to minus x of t, then you will be having a odd component, right. Okay. So, this is about even and odd component. If you take any x of n or x of t, so you replace t by minus t and see whether the results are which form, and you can decide upon that whether it is a even signal or odd signal. Say for example, if I take x of t which is equal to, so t square plus t, okay. So, now if I take this one and if you replace and find out x of t whether it is even or odd means, so you can replace x of t by minus t. So, what you will get? Minus t whole square plus minus t. So, now you can see here, so minus t square is plus t square. So, minus t is, so minus t. So, now is it in the form of minus of x of t, you see. So, if I take minus of x of t, it will become minus t square minus t, but it is not in the form of x of minus t, and also it is not in the form of same x of t, is it not. So, x of t is t square plus t, and x of minus t is minus t square minus t. So, that is why, so if you take this signal, it is not even signal or it is also not odd signal, okay. So, now if I take only x of t which is equal to cos t into t, say for example. So, now if replace this one by minus t, what will happen? So, this will give cos of minus t into minus t. So, since cos of t which is even signal, it will give the same component, and this will give minus t. So, that will be equal to minus t cos t, okay. So, now see here, so x of minus t, if you replace, if you get minus x of t, then it is odd signal. Just put x of t in terms of minus, you will get minus t cos t, is it not the same signal. So, whichever we got minus x of t, we will get it here. So, now if you replace this one, you are getting this one. So, that is why, so this one is the odd signal, okay, odd signal. Similarly, you can take x of n also. So, one more example for in the discrete time case, x of n, even you can take cos of pi n plus sin of pi n, okay. So, like this you can take, and you can find out by replacing the n by minus n, and you it is asked for separate the even and odd component. So, even and odd component, how you will separate? So, you know, so the equation for even component, that is x of xe of t equal to half into x of t plus x of minus t minus t, okay. So, this is the equation for xe of t, and x odd of t which is equal to half into x of t minus x of minus t, okay. So, this is the equations for even and odd component, you can find it out. So, similarly, in the discrete case also you can find out what is the even and odd component, okay. This is about the even and odd component. So, now if you take periodicity and non-periodicity, and periodic signal and non-periodic signal, periodic and non-periodic, okay. So, if x of t, if you replace the t by t plus t, okay, t plus t, okay, and if you get the same signal which is back x of t, so then this x of t is called as periodic signal. Okay. So, now in the similar discrete time case, x of n which is equal to x of n plus n if you do, and if you get the same signal x of n, then you will call it as it is a periodic signal, and this t will call it as a fundamental period in continuous time case, and this n will call it as a fundamental period n in the discrete time case. Okay. So, now if you take the special sinusoidal signals, that is the special case of this in periodic and non-periodic. So, what will happen? So, in sinusoidal signal, say for example, x of t equal to cos of 2 pi f t, or you can take it as omega t, that is cos of omega t. Okay. So, this omega will call it as the angular frequency, which is nothing but omega equal to 2 pi by t. Okay. So, this is in the continuous time case, and in the discrete time case, x of n which will be equal to cos of 2 pi n into, so or we can write it as omega n, which gives us cos of omega n. So, this omega which will be the angular frequency, which is nothing but your 2 pi by n. Okay. So, this is our continuous and discrete time case. Okay. In the sinusoidal signal, how we can define the angular frequencies as well as the fundamental periods. Okay. So, now the special the property here. So, in the discrete time case, what will happen? So, if your omega is the rational multiples of 2 pi, then you can set that signal as a periodic signal. That means, so if you take x of n, okay, which is equal to, I will take some example, that is cos of 2 pi n, say for example. So, now if you take omega equal to 2 pi, okay, so the expression for omega, so which is equal to 2 pi. So, now your omega, it is nothing but it is 2 pi m by n. Okay. So, now this for particular value of m only, you will get the fundamental period n. So, that will be equal to 2 pi. So, now your n equal to, so that is m. So, now for particular value of m equal to 1, 2, whatever it is, your n will become equal to 1, 2 and all. So, this is a fundamental period, in this case it is 1. So, now if I take the another different kind of thing, say for example, if I take x of n which is equal to cos of 5 pi by 2 into n. Okay. So, now in this case your omega will be equal to 5 pi by 2. So, now what will happen? 2 pi m by n which is equal to 5 pi by 2. So, now what will happen? The ratio which is n which is equal to, so your pi will get cancel each other, and if you multiply, it will become equal to 4 by 5 into m. So, now if this ratio, so only the n, if you get positive integer, then only we can say that that is periodic. Now, n will get the positive integer only for particular value of m, that is m equal to 5, 10 like that. What you will get? You will get n equal to 4, 8 like that. So now what is the fundamental period? Fundamental period is 4. So for particular value of m which is equal to 5. Okay. So this is how you have to calculate for the discrete time case in terms of sinusoidal signal. So generally if you take the plots and if you want to decide the periodicity, so that will be very easy. How much samples it is after it is repeating the same samples, then that is the period. Okay. So that's why, so this omega, so it's very important in discrete times case. So this should be rational multiples of 2 pi. Okay, rational multiples of 2 pi, then you will get the periodicity, that is n is positive integer. So in general if you want to say, so which will be equal to, so you know already, so 2 pi by n, which we will call it as, that is omega. So now omega, if you multiples of 2 pi, right. So now this is a rational number, n by, that is m by n. Okay. So or this is, if you get m by n as a rational number, okay, in terms of p by q format, then you will get the signal which is having a periodicity. Otherwise you won't get the periodicity and it will be non-periodic. So that is what the meaning, it should be multiples of 2 pi and the ratio m by n will be in terms of p q, that is p by q form, or it is in terms of rational number. Okay. Rational, this is a rational value and this is the multiples of 2 pi. If it is rational multiples of 2 pi, then your signal will be periodic. Okay. So is it understood, periodic and non-periodic? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So anybody is having any doubt in this periodic and non-periodic and even and odd component? Shall we proceed? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So now coming to the energy and power signals. So if the signal is having a finite value or finite energy, so then it will be called it as energy signal. That is, the energy, it should be between 0 to infinity. And similarly the power also, if you take the power signal, the power of that signal should be always less than infinity. That means, so the periodic signals, okay, periodic signals, if you take any periodic signal, it will be always the power signal, and if you take non-periodic, and it will be always energy signal. Okay. And also in terms of deterministic, so if you take deterministic signal, so we can find it out the values at a particular instant of time. So we can predict that value, so that's why it will be energy signal, and random signals always it will be the power signals. Okay. So now you know the expression for energy and power signals, so you can find it out what is the energy of a particular signal, which is equal to summation. In the discrete time case, it is summation which is minus infinity to plus infinity x of n magnitude square. Okay. So in the continuous time case, what will happen? It will be minus infinity to plus infinity x of t square into dt. Okay. So this is the energy signal, the expression, and similarly, so similarly for the power signals. Okay. So the expression for power signals, so what is the expression? That is 1 over 2n plus 1. If you take the discrete time case, limit n tends to infinity, so summation minus n to plus n x of n square. Is it not? So this is a, so even limit you can write it here. So, okay, so limit n tends to infinity 1 over 2n plus 1. Okay. So, similarly, if you take the continuous time case, that is limit t tends to infinity, so that is, so since it is a, if you take the periodic case, so you can directly write t, the fundamental period, that is one over t into minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 x of t square into dt. Okay. So, this is the expression for the continuous time case, is it not? Hello, understood the power and energy and power signals? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, now if you take an example for this, okay. So, just simple example. So, if it is like you will be having x of n, or so x of t, if it is defined from, say for example, t from 0 to the t value which is from 1, okay, and similarly t square between 1 to t value, say for example 3, okay, so less than 3 and 0 otherwise. So, now find out whether this signal is energy signal or power signal. So, since it is having a finite value, is it not? It is only from 0 to 3, it will be a energy signal. Now, correspondingly you have to take the energy equation and you have to substitute the corresponding value, which is from 0 to 1. What you will get? E equal to, that is 0 to 1, what is the value? T magnitude square, that is t square into dt, that is 0 to 1, and similarly plus. So, you need to add these two signals, that is 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So, t square magnitude square into dt. So, this will become t power 4 and integrate it, you will get the value of the energy. So, like that you have to find out the energy of the signal, and similarly you can find out the power of the signal also. So, if the signal which is given by a periodic signal, which is nothing but x of t equal to something like, that is cos of 2 pi t. So, you can find out. So, since it is a periodic with a periodicity, so what is omega? Omega equal to 2 pi. So, 2 pi by t equal to 2 pi. So, t equal to 1. So, now substitute the value of t and you can find out the power of the signal. Okay. Use the equation, similarly find out the t, substitute the t value and you can find out the what is the power. Okay. So, this is about the energy and power signal. So, now after that what we have discussed? So, we have discussed the basic operations on the signals, right. So, what are the basic operations we need to do? So, amplitude scaling, so that is on the dependent variable, amplitude scaling, multiplication as well as addition. So, that is not that much important. So, whatever the operations we have done on the independent variable t, that we will look into that. So, what are the options operations we have done? So, first one we have done shifting, right, is it not? Shifting, so that is x of, so t, if it is given, if they ask for x of t minus 2, so then you have to shift by the unit value which is 2. Say for example, if you have x of t signals like this, okay, so you will be shifting it by the value 2. So, if it is 0 and this is 1 and this is 2, So, it is starting from 2, you will get the signal. This is a shifting, right, 2, 3 and 4, is it not? So, this is about the shifting. And similarly scaling you can do, that is, so if the same x of t whatever I am giving here, if you take 2 into x of t, that is nothing but scaling. So, if the amplitude if it is here 1, so this is amplitude scaling. So, now if we want to do the time independent operator, that is t, which is scaling of this one. So, say for example, I want x of 2t. So, now this index you have to divide it by 2 for this scaling. So, what you will get? It will be from 0 to 1. Okay. So, this is about the scaling, which is shrinking, we will call it as shrinking. And similarly x of t by 2, so it will be expanded by, so multiply by this 2, it will be expanded to till 4. Okay. So, 0 to 4. So, if it is t by 2, you have to multiply by 2 these indexes, and if it is x of 2t, if it is 2t, then you have to divide the index by 2. So, this is about the scaling operation. And what about the reflection? Reflection is nothing but you have to imaging the signal whatever it is there. So, now if this is x of t and if I want x of minus t, that is nothing but reflection which will be having. So, this signal which is having the x of minus t, that is your reflected signal, is it not? So, this is about the shifting, scaling and reflection. So, now if I operate all these things in a single signal, what you will get? So, you will get insight on this the operations which is performed. Okay. So, now if I take x of t and operate all these things at a time, that is, say for example, minus 2t plus 3, I will take this, and x of t is given by this one. So, 0 to 1. So, now what will happen? So, now I need to shift plus 3 by the first one, always you need to do shifting, as the rule which is saying always you need to do the shift first. Okay. So, what it will happen? So, you need to shift by 3 units, that is 1, 2 and 3. So, 0, 1, 2, 3 and this is 4. This is shifting in the positive side, but it is actually asking for negative side. So, you need to shift backwards. Okay. So, you need to shift the signal backwards, that is, it will go to 3 units this side, is it not? Okay. So, if you go 3 units this side, so this 0 it will be in the position of 3, that is minus 3, and it will be minus 2 and minus 1. So, this is your shifted signal. So, now I need to scale by 2. So, now if I scale by 2, it will become 3 by 2 and 2 by 2. So, this will be having the value which is minus 1.5 and 1 minus 1, and here it is 0. So, this is your x of minus 2t plus 3. So, now again I need to reflect this signal. So, if I reflect this x of minus 2t plus 3, which is resultant, I will obtain. Okay. So, if I do like this, so it will become in the positive axis, that is 1 and 1.5. So, this is about the reflection, and this is the final signal of the operation performed on this. Okay. So, all these 3 operations which we have done here, is it understood, this one operations? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, anybody is having doubt in the operations on the signal? This all the 3 which we performed here, that is shifting, scaling and reflection, is it not? Hello. So next what we have done after this? So operations on signal we have done, and we have done the system interconnection. That is how we can view as the system can be interconnected by the whatever the signal which we define. Say for example, x of t I will define it as, that is u of n plus u of n minus 1 plus u of n minus 2. So if I take this signal, so what is the delay unit here? So the delay unit is 1 times it is having a delay. Okay. So here x of n, so which is having the signal, which we defined it as u of n, or you can take it as in terms of the delta function. So that we will discuss a little bit time. So this is, if I having the delay of 1 unit, we can represent it as s. So the delay of this system we can represent it as s, and this one it is s square. Okay. And the similar way, if you take in the positive direction, that is if you represent x of n, which is equal to u of n plus u of n plus 1 plus u of n plus 2, if you substitute. So that is, if you take this signal, so this will be represented as s power minus 1. Here there is no shift, you can put it as s power 0, that unit time delay. So here you can represent it as s minus 2. So now how we can represent x of n in terms of interconnections? So now I have u of n signal here, and if I shift the u of n by 1 unit, that is s, you will get u of n minus 1. Okay. And similarly I will shift one more by u of n minus 1 more time, you will get u of n minus 2. Okay. So now I need to connect all these things. Okay. So I want to get this u of n minus 1 also, u of n minus 2 also, and u of n minus 1, u of n also. Now if I summate, if I add all these things, and I will get the x of n. So this is how your interconnections will be done. Okay. So this is about the systems, how we can be interconnected by using delay units, is it not? So this is what we have discussed also, and we have discussed one more important signals or specialized signals, that is impulse signal, impulse del of n, impulse signal, which is represented by, in the discrete case, del of n, and the continuous case del of t. So which will be represented only at n equal to 0, which will be having a discrete value, and similarly you will be having a small pulse of duration at t equal to 0, and which will be defined between minus a to b. Okay. So and this will be having a width of something like epsilon, we can call it as. So this a small duration, and it will be having a small height. So in the continuous case, even though the pulse duration is very much small, so this is very much small, and this height also it is. So when width it is going to reduce, the pulse amplitude it will increase, and if the pulse amplitude it will decrease, the width will going to increase. So this is in the continuous time case, we can represent the impulse function. Okay. So now some properties of this impulse functions are there. So if, say for example, x of n is there. Okay. So if you multiply it by del of n, so what you will get? So you will get x of 0. So since the impulse function only gives the value at n equal to 0, you will get the value x of 0, the resultant signal. In the similar way, if you shift the signal, that is x of n into del of n minus 2, say for example if you do, now the resultant signal will be your x of 2. Okay. So whatever the signal which we define, whatever the value which is there at 2, it will give the resultant that one. So similarly in the continuous case, so you have the x of t into del of t if you have, so now it will give x of 0 when t equal to 0. So now we have the property also, this del property, so that impulse function property. If you have del of a into t, so now you can write that one as 1 over a into del of t, only at t equal to 0. So this is a scaling property, and this is a, so whatever we so we have discussed, this is a shifting property, and this also we can define in terms of continuous time also. Okay. So this we can define in terms of continuous time also, that is if you have x of t and if you have del of t minus t naught, you will get it as x of t minus t naught. So when t become equals to t naught, you will get the value. Okay. So this is about the shifting and scaling operations of the del operation. Okay. So after that, what we have discussed, and we have discussed the unit step functions also, and we have discussed the some of the other functions, that is unit step function, that is u of n or u of t, so which will be defined it as only for the 0 to infinite value, which is having the discrete set of values. This is unit step function. In time domain we can represent it as u of t. Okay. So in the similar way, we have defined the ramp function also. Okay. We have defined the ramp function also, that is r of t, so which is equal to t when, so t is between 0 to infinity. Okay. So 0 otherwise. Okay. So this is your ramp function, which is r of t. Okay. So unit step function, ramp function and del function, these are the some of the specialized functions. So now after that, we have discussed the sum of the exponential signals, so that is e power at. So if a defines the exponential, whether it is decaying or growing exponential. Okay. So you can express the exponential signal, which is decaying signal, and similarly you will be having a exponential signal, which is growing signal. Okay. So and also we have express this exponential signal in terms of sinusoidal signal. So if we have e power j omega t, by using Euler's identity, we can express this one as cos omega t plus j sin omega t, is it not? J sin omega t. So this is about how we can express the exponential signal in terms of the cos and sin function. Okay. So you will be having even the alt in the discrete time case also, you can represent the growing and decaying exponential, that is e power a into n. Okay. So the index, it will be in the discrete form. So this will also having a in terms of the growing exponential like this in the discrete case. So in similar way it will be having the decaying exponential, that is in the discrete form you will be having this one. Okay. So this is about the exponential signal in brief. So now coming to the properties of the signals. What are the properties which we have studied? So what are the properties? The properties of the system. Properties of system.
Clarity, stability.
Yeah. So what are all the properties?
Memory, memoryless,
Yes, yes. So first
casual,
one is
non-casual,
causal, memory,
invertible system, time
memoryless,
invariant,
yeah, invertible.
time invariant, linear,
This
non-linear.
is important, which is time invariant and linearity. Okay, time invariant and linearity,
Stability.
stability. Okay, and stability. So now when we say that system is causal, so if the system values does not depends on the future values, then we will call it as it is the causal system, right. So if you say, for example, if you take x of n which is having equal to u of n plus u of n minus 1 plus u of n minus 2. So now it is depending only the present and past value, is it not? So it is does not depends on the future value. So then it will be having the system is said to be a causal system, otherwise it will be a non-causal system. And similarly, if you have the function which depends on the only present value, then it will be call it as memoryless system, and if it depends on future or past value, then the system is said to be having memory. Okay. So say for example, if you have y of n which is equal to x square of n. Okay. So now what will be happen? So x square of n, only when n value present value it will give the output. So it depends only in the present value. If it is having present value, what this system represents? It represents memoryless system. It is having memoryless system. In the similar way, so if you have the system is said to be invertible, then if you have the x of t signal which is there, and if you pass it on to the system, either the system t, say for example, and if you have the system having t inverse, and if you get back the signal, the same signal which is sent by earlier, then this system is said to be invertible system. Okay. So if you send the signal to the system, and if you say if the system behaves as a inverse, then you will get back the same signal. So then if you that system, it will be call it as the invertible system. Okay. So and if you come to time invariant, so if you have the input signal, and if you shift the input signal by variable, some time variable t naught, if the output also shifted by the same amount of time, so then it will be said it as time invariant. Okay. So if you say example, if you take, so say for example, if you have y of t which is equal to t. So now if you say for example, this will take it as input x of t. So now if you shift the input, I will take it as that is y1 of t which is equal to, shift the input only input value which is t minus t naught, and similarly now you shift the output, that is y of t minus t naught. So since it is having only t, so this also it will be shifted. Okay. So now if you are y1 of t and y of t minus t naught, which will be call it as, say for example, y2 of t. So if y1 of t and y2 of t, if it is same, then we can say the system is time invariant. Okay. otherwise the system will be time variant. Okay. So, is it understood? So, now the simple example, if you take another one, so y of t equal to t plus 2. So, is it the time invariant? Can you say? So, since only t is there, so this is also it will be a time invariant, because t minus t naught, if you shift the input, it will be t minus t naught plus 2, and similarly if you shift the output, it will give same t minus t naught plus 2. So, that is why it is time invariant. So, if you take an example for time variant, so you can see, so I can take y of n, which is equal to something like okay, n n square plus so n, and okay. So, particularly if we want to see the expression to get the time invariance, whether it is satisfying or not. So, at this moment I do not remember that expressions for time which does not satisfy the time invariant property. So, you understood, if you satisfy it, if the input and output both if it is shifted versions, then it will give the time invariance. So, similarly, if you want have the linearity property, it should satisfy the both that homogeneity as well as the additivity property, which will be call it as superposition property. Okay. If the system possesses superposition property, then the system is said to be linear. Okay. System is linear if it is possess superposition property. So, that means, so your y of n should be equal to alpha into y1 of n plus alpha into y2 of n. If you have the y of n which is equal to x1 of n plus x2 of n. Okay. So, if this satisfy this condition, so then we will call it as, that is superposition property. So, it will be scaled by the value alpha. So, this is will call it as homogeneity property, and this addition property which will be call it as additivity property. If both satisfy scaling as well as the additivity property, then we will call it as that system possesses superposition and system is linear. So, that we have done many problems. Okay. So, this is about the properties of the system and stability. So, if say for example, x of n input which is having the finite set of value which is mx. Okay. So, and similarly we will be having y of n, the output which is having a finite set of output value, then the system is the bounded input and bounded output, that is, so this x of n input signal also the bounded input signal, and the output also it is bounded. So, that is why the system is said to be bounded input, bounded output, the stable system. Then your input should be bounded within the value and output should also bounded within the value. So, then the system is said to be PIBO stable. Okay. So, these are about the properties of the systems. Okay. So, after that we have done some of the expressions which we have used in the convolution sum also. So, for calculating the energy and power signal. So, that you can see whatever we have done. Okay. So, this is about the the revision from the beginning. So, particular problem if you want to ask, then I can do. So, I cannot cover all the problems, just I explain the concepts how it is. Okay, so is it understood? Hello, so any doubt in this? So I will tell sir to take 5 minutes break, and he will start. So you can exit, and you can come back at 11:05 or 11:5 by 11:05 or 11:10. Okay.